Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another episode of Sports News Flash at 12 with your weekend sports anchor, Miguel Mike Medina. Aaron Rodgers, he is heading to Steel City. This is his third team. He signed to a 1 year, 13.6 million deal. The quarterback will be wearing number 6, and he passed his physical. So Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he's 41 years old, all right? So my concern is his durability. How far can he go with the Steelers? Hopefully he doesn't become too much of a diva when he gets there because, Pittsburgh is a very, I could say is a very high standard organization in the NFL. They're known for winning championships and they like hard workers, great players, great athletes, but not to become much of a distraction. So hopefully Aaron Rodgers doesn't become a distraction. And hey, Aaron Rodgers, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. In my opinion, he's the most talented quarterback that I've ever seen. Ever since I've watched NFL since 99, 2000. Just an amazing talent. Aaron Rodgers, he's a four-time league MVP, 62,952 career passing yards, and 503 passing touchdowns. So I wish Aaron Rodgers nothing but the best. Hopefully this is more of an asset than liability for the Steelers because again, he is 41 years old and we have to take consideration of his health, by the time he's undefeated. So we will have to see how he will perform with the Pittsburgh Steelers this upcoming season. In other news, the Indiana Pacers, I feel that teams are not giving them enough respect, especially when it comes to the fourth quarter. For the fourth consecutive round, it happened with Milwaukee, with Cleveland, with the Knicks, and now with the Oklahoma City Thunder, where they will have a comfortable lead. And in the fourth quarter, the comeback kids just find a way to get it done. Tyrese Halliburton, he is establishing himself as a clutch postseason performer. Reggie Miller's passing some of that DNA, some of that medicine towards his way. And I'm sure that many people find them overrated or they think that he doesn't put up the numbers that they want to see from a star like Tyrese Halliburton. Like one day he can go off for 15 points, 13 rebounds. Some days he can go for 28 points, 7 assists. Like his numbers jump up and down. But but the way I look at it is that he's constantly posting double doubles, sometimes triple doubles, but mostly double doubles. And he's more of a I don't see him as a James Harden type player in the sense that he's all about scoring, or even Carmelo Anthony in that aspect. He's more of a playmaker, a team player. Indiana Pacers are a team-oriented team. They share the ball so effectively. Again, getting Pascal Siakam last year in the trade deadline was huge. And I repeat, it was huge for that team. So he has a lot of weapons. He doesn't feel like he needs to carry so much load from a scoring standpoint. And game one, he came through once again. He had a game-winning shot to give the Pacers their first lead of the game with only zero point 0.3 seconds left. And that was the final score. They won 111 to 110 to steal game one against a very good number one seed Oklahoma City Thunder team. Clearly, Oklahoma City have to win tonight, game two, to avoid going to Indiana down 0-2. But you got to give Indiana a lot of respect. You don't want to underestimate them, especially in the fourth quarter. And Indiana didn't have a good game. They committed so many turnovers. And I believe there was another area that they got outplayed by Oklahoma City Thunder, but they still came through with the victory. They did win the rebound game, which was very crucial. So, but Tyrese Halliburton, I don't think he's a superstar. I think he's a star. But the way he's been playing this postseason, it looked like the number one option superstar of that team. So, and they're 3 wins away from winning it all. But the most important thing for me about this NBA Finals is that these are two new different teams, small market teams, and we're gonna have ourselves a new champion. I'm an NBA fan that I love seeing new teams winning every year. I'm not the biggest fan of teams going back to back unless it's my favorite team. I'm not a fan of three-peats. And historically, the NBA has produced that. But ever since 2019 to present, every year a new team has been crowned a champion. And that's what I love seeing. That moves the game forward, in my opinion. So again, Pacers, Thunder, game 2 tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Moving on to the next subject. Talk about Formula One. Formula One with the 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton. So recently I learned that Lewis Hamilton, one of the best drivers in Formula One, he is one of the producers for the film F1 starring Brad Pitt. And I read this fascinating article on the Formula One website, and Lewis Hamilton opened up about how is it like producing F1 movie and working with Brad Pitt and the filmmakers? How was that experience like? And F1, the movie's coming out this month on June 25th internationally and June 27th in North America. And he's very excited. He's very excited to see this movie, but he's even more excited for the fans, for Formula One fans that will be tuning into this movie. I've had my eye on this movie since last year, so this is one of the most anticipated films for me to watch in 2025. So this is what Lewis Hamilton had to say about him stepping into the role as a producer in the movie F1 and what are his expectations are for this movie. He said, and I quote, that F1 will be the most authentic racing movie that's ever been made. That's a very high praise. Coming on board to this project as a producer has been such an incredible learning process for me. Seeing what goes into making a feature film, and there's been a lot of learning on the other side too, as everyone has got to grips with Formula One. I've always loved film and telling stories. I've loved this sport since I was 5 years old. So when I got the opportunity to speak with Joe Kosinski and Jerry Bruckheimer about the project, it felt like the two worlds I'm passionate about coming together. I remember in the early days of the project, I got to meet with Brad and go through the script, join meetings with the teams at Apple and Formula One, and be part of some of the early casting processes. From those first conversations to watching it all come together, it's been a super cool experience, and I can't wait for everyone to watch it. Again, I can't wait to watch it either because the trailer is exciting. I'm a fan of Brad Pitt's work. And then the fact that, and it's a sport movie as well. And also to think that Lewis Hamilton had a hand on this and worked on this project, I had to see it. Moving on to the next topic, Aryna Sabalenka versus Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff defeated Aryna Sabalenka to win her first French Open title at Roland Garros. Both women great tennis players. Coco Gauff, I felt that she put a lot of pressure on Aryna Sabalenka and on clay. Her backhand and forehand game was exceptional. What disappointed me about Aryna Sabalenka was after the match. She said that it was her worst final that she's performed. But what was more disappointing, that was just a little bit in the post-game interview, but what was even more disappointing was the press conference after her match. And I'm gonna paraphrase it, but basically she said that she basically didn't give Coco Gauff credit for defeating her. She felt Marina Sabalenka felt more that it was her not playing her best more than Coco Gauff actually beating her. So again, it's on YouTube. Feel free to see for yourself. But for a number one world tennis player like Sabalenka, always have been classy, and she's no stranger when it comes to showing her emotions on and off the court. But in this particular situation, I felt very disappointed because that's not like her. When you're the best tennis player in the world, you have to give credit where credit is due as well. And it was not a smart choice of words about what she had to say about Coco Gauff. And to Gauff's credit, she took the high road during her press conference interview. And basically, she disagreed with Sabalenka. She felt that whether it was Sabalenka or Iga Swiatek, who's another great tennis player, that it was going to be a challenge regardless to face either one of them. But she felt that she earned her championship. So very disappointing from Sabalenka. Surprising the way she, of the things that she said. In terms of Gauff winning it, this was a great moment, great victory for her. Her parents were in attendance. They focus a lot on her parents. So, and I love seeing that. I love seeing athletes winning championships and celebrating with their family, especially when it's both parents present. That's something beautiful to watch. So congrats to Coco Gauff. And like I said, her, Sabalenka, and many others are some of my favorite tennis players in the game. 2024 was a very tough year for Gauff. And this year, she's redeeming herself. She's playing much better, more focused, more consistent. And, Wimbledon is going to be interesting to watch. I do think that Sabalenka is a front runner to win Wimbledon, but I won't count out Gauff. I mean, it could be anyone. So, but yeah, great victory by Gauff. As for today, Jannik Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz will meet once again in the final, but this time for the Roland Garros Grand Slam final. Whoever wins between both of them, I'm totally fine. I'm a fan of both of them. I think Sinner will win this time. But again, it wouldn't surprise me if Alcaraz wins. This is a very great rivalry. Alcaraz needed a player like Sinner to push him to a certain level. I think that Sinner is the more consistent, better player than Alcaraz. But after Alcaraz beating Sinner at the Italian Open, we could be seeing the start of consistency, level of play, and more mental focus from Alcaraz going forward. So I can't wait for that matchup today, Sinner versus Alcaraz. One of them is going to take the French Open title. And that concludes this episode of Sports News Flash at 12. Hopefully you guys enjoy listening to this episode, watching this episode. Hopefully, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Enjoy NASCAR round 4 of the RBC Canadian Open, game 2 of the NBA Finals. Oh, I can't forget to mention the Stanley Cup Finals. It has been terrific so far. Both games 1 and 2 have gone to overtime. Game 1, Leon Draisaitl won in overtime. Game 2, that Brad Marchand, he scored 2 goals, and one of them was the overtime goal. But I do expect the Stanley Cup Finals to go to 7 games again, but hopefully Edmonton wins. A Canadian hockey team hasn't won the Stanley Cup since the Montreal Canadiens in 1983. So hopefully Edmonton wins, and they have to win. And Connor McDavid needs that Stanley Cup. Leon Draisaitl needs that Stanley Cup. This Oilers team is very good. The only thing that I'm concerned about the Oilers is their goaltending. But if their offense can keep it up, then forget goaltending, right? But you don't want to give Panthers a lot of confidence. And now that the series going back to Florida, Panthers are feeling good that they took game 2 on the road. So Edmonton, they must keep their foot on the gas and they got to bring it home. They got to bring it home. Hopefully, next Sunday when I make a new episode of Sports News Flash at 12, I could say that Edmonton Oilers, they're the Stanley Cup champions. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Be safe. Have a great Sunday. And may God bless each and every one of you. Take care.